Well, good afternoon, everybody. Honestly, I didn't really notice it was this late, like almost 1 p.m. It's like 12:40 something. And I totally forgot to just make anything for lunch. But guess what? I am gonna make one of our famous fall recipes. I don't know if you have seen it yet. I posted a few videos before in my other channels about this amazing sweet potato and apple soup. And well, I figured why not? It's a beautiful September day, so we can totally make this soup again. I made it a couple times before. It's so good. Like usually I have it for myself, but today I'm making it with a little twist. And of course, we're gonna make some cheese quesadillas to go with them. It's really delicious. So this is how it goes. It's like super easy. I'm gonna show you why. Because I'm not really gonna use a pot. I'm actually just gonna use my cooking blender, and its name says it all. It cooks your products. It actually is gonna rise temperature on it up to 240 degrees, and it's gonna cook to perfection. So you don't need to struggle with the heats of the pot. Just press a button, let it do its magic, and then you can just go and do whatever you need to do, because guess what? I already finished folding all the laundry, but I have a new load that I need to hang up because it just came out of the washer. So I'm gonna take care of that, and I don't have time to lose, because then in just a couple hours, which is 2 hours, my son's gonna come back from school. So I'm just trying to do everything I can as fast as possible. Being able to cook with blender is really a blessing, because it allows me to do everything else that I need to do without having to waste my time just babysitting a hot pot. You know what I mean? All right, so I am opening this can of jams. You can totally go with a fresh sweet potato, but then you have to add sugar to your recipe. You really don't want to do that, but you can totally just use the almíbar from this can. So the whole thing goes in there. And because the jam is basically already cooked, you don't have to let this cooking for too long. Now look at this. I'm gonna show you something, and I know this is something a lot of you struggle. I used to, like, the edges of the cans are nice and smooth because I use my can opener and smoother. The way it cuts it, it doesn't cut the can from the inside, but it cuts it in the outside. That means the cover is actually a little thick, and this is safe. So no matter how you throw it away, no one gets hurt. You don't have to get hurt in the kitchen anymore, guys. And this is one of my favorite gadgets. Honestly, I don't know how many years I spent without it, and when I finally got it, it's like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. This is definitely game changer. But let's go back to our recipe. I just wanted to mention that. All right, so for this recipe, because I like it very nice and rich and smooth, I am gonna use a cup of milk. I am not gonna use broth in this one. You can totally use a little bit of veggie broth if you want to, but if not, that's totally fine. That's good right there, whole cup. And then I'm gonna use my smaller scoop. This is equal to 2 tablespoons heavy cream, and this is just like to give it a little body. You're gonna use 4 tablespoons of heavy cream. All right, now to our seasonings. It's beautiful fall. We were starting with it, and you've gotta get cinnamon. If you're making sweet potatoes and apples, you've gotta get cinnamon. Now remember, our cinnamon plus is kind of spicy. It's kind of like a spice blend, but if you're using your Corinthian cinnamon, that's extra spicy, so you gotta be careful not to add too much. I'm gonna go just with a 1/4 teaspoon right here. There we go, and there it goes. And just a 1/4 is all you need. Now, I like my soup spicy. Since I watched Ratatouille, like I feel like about what, 20 something years ago, 25 years ago, I watched it and I just fell in love with it soup. And since that day, I just have my soup spicy. I totally forgot to change the measurement. I'm gonna use 1/2 teaspoon, and this is actually a mix of crushed peppercorn and garlic. So you're also adding garlic to your soup. And if you have like a sensitive palate, like you don't really want the actual garlic or the actual onions, this is a great choice for you guys. So you can add that little flavor without actually to feel the mushy of it. So this is all you need. I am closing it, and I'm gonna place it on my blender right now, and I'm just gonna plug it. 1 second. All right, let's plug this baby in, and I am gonna flip my camera, guys, so you can see how this works. This is my beautiful cooking blender, and I'm gonna go to the panel, and I'm gonna move this to the soup option all the way here, right there, you see it, and I'm just gonna start it, and the temperature for this actually is gonna raise to 212 degrees. It always like changes depending of what you are making. It's kind of like a smart blender, if you know what I mean. Sometimes it decides that you don't need 240, or sometimes it only decides that the temperature is going to be different, and depending of what you're making, and it will choose for you. And when this comes out, guys, you won't believe it. It's just gonna start bubbling here. Whenever it's done, you can just go straight to your bowl. You can top with a little bit of Parmesan, a little bit of seasoned oil, or you can add some croutons. Oh, the sky is the limit, guys. How do you take your soup? Let me know in the comments, because I really want to know. It is only gonna take about 10 minutes to cook, and then in the meantime, I'm gonna just make the quesadillas, and happy lunch for everyone.